First Des Nations experience?
That was unbelievable. The crowd, honestly, I had chills for like 15 minutes straight. So, yeah, that's something that I've never, ever even pictured.
What game pick did you get for qualifying?
15. So, you know, we got rid of the big ones. We didn't get in the 30s. We didn't get 13, so that's good. Yeah, we'll be inside the box, so that's anywhere in there is good. So I told him even if we got 34, it'll be fine. So it'll be good. It'll be good. Kind of a vibe, a little bit different than a normal pro national. It's a lot of new people. Everyone I'm seeing, I've never seen before, so it's kind of cool. A little bit refreshing, so yeah, I'm excited. It's getting a little spin in.
Thank you, sir. Yeah,
USA! You ready? You've done this a few times. Oh, I'm ready. I'm stoked. It was actually pretty fun. It was fun? Yeah. That's how it was when we were here. That for those 2 blasting days. The berms. I saw your outside before the drop down. It looked sick. Dude, this is What about mechanics area?
I'm not seeing much. Like, it's pretty flat.
Is it right?
Yeah, so like you can make that left, but there's a...
They represent America, no big deal.
Two. What's it doing now? Same thing?
Dude, I can't hang on to the front. My arms are so tired, dude. And I never get tired in the arms.
Because of the rear?
The front has no feeling. I'm constantly just like holding on to it.
Like fighting it. This gives us a chance to make a change, and then we'll have a 15-minute practice tomorrow.
How did the first race go?
Pretty good. Tomac won. Justin was 9th, so we have 10 points total right now. All ready for moto number 2 with Chase and Justin again.
How was the moto?
I mean, I still got second, but wasn't a very good ride. Got another moto. Track hopefully dries out a little bit. I think it should be done raining, so it should suit me a little bit more. Just this track's way different than what I'm used to riding, so I'm just trying to figure it out right now.
Chase Sexton, we are on the final lap. He is less than half a lap from what would be a historical moment in his riding career. But Chase Sexton, Team USA, he will round out the final couple of corners. The flag does go out, Renault wins, but Chase Sexton has won the Motocross of Nations for the Team USA for the first time since 2011. It is going to go off here, and he knows it. We just need to bring Tomac over the line for sure in 6th position.
My name is Marco Pecorari and I'm the director of the MA in Fashion Studies. The students had this amazing opportunity to work in the archive of Versace, where different souls of the brand Versace are living, not only Gianni Versace but also Donatella Versace. Initially we started with the idea of an exhibition which was held in 1986 by the Palais Galliera. It was the dialogue between the work of Gianni Versace and the work of Donatella Versace, who at the time was not only working with Gianni, of course, on fashion design, but she was already in charge and responsible for the image production of the brand.
So our brief was to create a dialogue and a conversation between two couples of garments, one that was designed by Gianni and one that was designed by Donatella. And so we were asked to really connect these garments, see what was different, what was the same, what we could draw from one to inspire the other and vice versa. Our two pieces, one is a drapes piece, like this pink one, and then another one is a metal mesh piece, so like this. And so we found with these two garments that they really personified and gave a lot of power to the wearer. And so what we wanted to do was take historical figures, and we created stories around those two ambassadors, if you will, for Versace, wearing the garments and what that garment means for that character.
If I were able to talk to Gianni now and ask him questions now, it would be a long conversation for sure. I would have a lot of questions for him. But I really would like to talk to him about his inspiration coming from mythology and how his affinity for mythology and history and the idea of Medusa, how he kind of sees that represented in a contemporary woman. I think it would be really important to kind of get to talk to him now about how his ideas of femininity and power and strength have evolved and how they were really informed by Medusa.
So my time in Milan was interesting. It was really cool. We got to see the Versace headquarters. We got to see how things were made, especially the metal mesh, which is so insane. Gianni picked this because of this or this because of this, and so you really got to know him as a person and see the brand through the lens of the home and where it was, which I think really added something to the project.
What amazed me the most about the experience and the work that our student did is their capacity to relate from a contemporary perspective to a work that was produced 40 years ago. I think it's groundbreaking, and I really hope that our student understood the privilege they had through this project.
People travel the world in many different ways, and how people travel is very individual. Everybody deserves to travel as who they are, and we wanted to celebrate that. I'm Ewan Jong, Experientialist-in-Chief of Out There magazine. Out There magazine is a multi-award winning luxury and experiential travel publication rooted in diversity, discovery and discernment. We saw a real gap in the market for storytelling that was more diverse and inclusive. The mainstream were telling great travel stories, but they were leaving some people out. I'm a glass half full person. On a rainy day, I see the sunshine, I see the beauty in the rain. And that's my philosophy in running my business and also living my life. We have come so far when it comes to diversity and inclusion, but we still have a long way to go. And it's important that we don't leave anyone behind. Today we're travelling west of London to a property called Lucknam Park, which is in Chippenham. We started back in London at the Mayfair Townhouse. It's so important for me to be comfortable when I travel. Like right now, I'm in the back of a Flying Spur Mulliner hybrid. There's lots of room for me to work in. I have to be able to work on the go. I believe that people should be able to travel just as they are and express themselves. And that's what I love about Bentley. Bentley allows you to express yourself and personalize your car choice. People are looking for travel experiences that match their values. They want to put money where their values lie. I think before the pandemic, a lot of people just traveled from A to B, and they didn't really think about what the journey entailed and how important the journey was. Because of my job, I tended to get to the destination very, very quickly. I found an opportunity to get out into the great British countryside. Actually with the Bentley, I drove from London all the way up to Scotland and back, and I really discovered how magical our country is. And as a result, I wanted to do more and tell more of those stories. Even today, people don't feel welcomed when they travel the world. I hope going forward that we can make a more positive impact. And for me, that's treating people better in a more inclusive way and including everyone from every background and every community. Belonging is so important to us as human beings. And I want to see a world where we can just get out there and be ourselves wherever we are in the world.
Uniting spellbinding scenery, a complex racecourse and an international fleet, the Rolex Middle Sea Race is undeniably one of the world's great offshore races. First held in 1968, this is a contest steeped in tradition, with its own distinct character. Located at the crossroads of the Mediterranean, starting and finishing against the impressive backdrop of Malta's capital Valletta, it comprises one of the most breathtaking and challenging racetracks. 606 nautical miles around Sicily and its myriad of outlying islands, narrow straits, 2 active volcanoes, open water passages, fluctuating and changeable conditions. This race has it all. Tactically, the race breaks down into identifiable segments, with each one exposing the crews to contrasting weather and sea states. Determination, flawless teamwork, and sharp decision-making are essential. This year marks 20 years of the partnership between race organisers, the Royal Malta Yacht Club, and long-standing title sponsor Rolex. Careful curation has seen the fleet increase in size and stature, as each year more and more sailors participate, widening the appeal. This year, an impressive fleet is set to add another memorable chapter to the race's history, with the winner securing their part in the growing legend. The 43rd edition of the Rolex Middle Sea Race commences on October 22nd.
My name is Jessica Grulich. My name is Audrey Mono.
Hi, I'm Billy Valentine.
Hi, I'm Ben King.
Hey, my name's Logan Dubois.
I'm Kim Madden.
I'm Aaron Togeling.
Hi, I'm Robert O'Day.
Started as a tooling engineer. I'm an industrial engineer.
Manufacturing engineer.
Industrial engineer.
I'm a liaison engineer.
I'm an equipment and tool engineer.
I'm a liaison engineer.
I'm a manufacturing engineer.
On a daily basis, I feel that what drives me is the responsibilities that we have as industrial engineers.
Manufacturing engineering is extremely important to Boeing because it makes sure that engineering designs and fabrication are seamlessly integrated.
As a liaison engineer, I feel we are most responsible for the safety and integrity of the airplane first and foremost.
My favorite jobs are always the safety and ergonomic related projects because what they do is really difficult. So anything as an engineer we can do to make their lives easier is really rewarding.
We develop staffing plans, business plans writ large. We do a lot of process improvement, and in general, we're the advocate for operations and manufacturing in an engineering context.
So it's really exciting every week here because we don't know what we're going to be doing. I know I'll be working on something on the airplane. I don't know what the issue would be, and it'll be exciting to try to learn and figure out what's going on.
We measure airplane products as they're being built to verify that they're installed in the correct locations, or if parts aren't fitting together, we can help the investigation to see what isn't fitting or where some of the root causes might be for the problem.
There's an extreme focus on what does the production system look like to build these airplanes? How do we further design for manufacturability and assembly? How do we utilize our lean processes, automation, and all our processes and tools to make it happen?
I wouldn't have ever thought that I would be able to work so closely next to the airplane and have such a hands-on job.
If you look behind me, you'll see the 737 MAX assembly line in Renton.
This airplane behind us comes in smaller sections and we put it all together on this factory floor.
The Boeing factory in Everett, Washington, you can fit all of Disneyland inside it.
The scale is just so different than when you're at the airport in the jetway. You come down and you just look up and it's a whole airplane. You really don't appreciate the scale until you're on the floor right next to them.
The magnitude and the size really takes your breath away. It's astonishing.
You're working with trying to take an ideal view that the designers have and turn it into a real product.
No 2 days are ever the same, and there's no possibility of being bored.
I feel like I'm a contributing piece of this whole organization, and I feel like my job is important.
Production and industrial engineering at Boeing includes equipment and tooling engineering, NC programming, manufacturing engineering, industrial engineering, and liaison engineering.
the elite of the world of show jumping gathered for the 4th equestrian major of the year, the CHI Geneva, which celebrated its 60th anniversary.
I think it's such a traditional show, such a great show. The stadium is huge, the crowd is very behind all the competitors, but especially behind the Swiss competitors. You feel a huge support of everyone around here.
When I was very small, CHI of Geneva was one of the best shows in the world, and so many years later, I am here and I am able to take part in the 60th anniversary. It's a great feeling to be here.
And on Friday night, the knowledgeable and passionate crowd at the Palexpo celebrated the 20th edition of the Rolex IJRC Top 10 Final.
Winning the Rolex Top 10 Final has always been a dream, I think, of a lot of riders, just to be in the final. I've been fortunate enough to win it a couple times with two very amazing horses.
And when the champions of the sport took on the demanding course, only 2 pairings managed to double clear, with Ben Mayer the fastest aboard Explosion W in a time of 49.57 seconds. On Sunday, 6 pairings made it into the Rolex Grand Prix jump-off. Rolex testimony Martin Fuchs, riding second aboard Leonie J, set a time in clear no other combination could match. The 29-year-old Swiss rider celebrated his place in history by becoming the first rider to successfully defend the Rolex Grand Prix at CHI Geneva.
It's amazing to ride here in front of the home crowd in Geneva. They are so supportive, they are so loud, so active. You can really feel that they are behind you and that they want you to do well, and to be able to win in front of the home crowd, such a prestigious class, such a historical class, it's a great feeling.
The Rolex Grand Slam of show jumping returns in March with the Dutch Masters.
I feel like the older you get, the more you just like stop caring about having the spotlight. My role in the game changed from being like the star to like a dad. When I was younger, I was a bit more toxic. My mindset has gotten a lot better over the years, and as I've gotten older, I've definitely humbled and I understand how to work with people. Everyone has to make sacrifices for their living. I can't count the amount of holidays and family events I've missed. I don't like traveling. I don't like living in hotels. Being away from family, missing those events, that's all stuff that really sucks, and it's all part of the job. And that's just time I'm not gonna get back. It makes me want to work even harder. It drives me to be a better player in person. Worst thing that you can do is like be complacent. I'm not complacent at all. I feel like I've achieved the most out of any IGL and NA's ever achieved in any game. Our Grand Slam run, like no one's ever done that before. There's never enough winning. I don't want to just win like a tournament or Grand Slam. It's like I want to win 2 Grand Slams. I want to build that like legacy, create an era. We keep on like striving for that #1 spot. And it's got to feel like convincing. It has to be like, all right, we're like the most dominant team in the world. I think you really got to have that champion mindset. So your first goal is like, all right, we became the best team in the world, cool. What's your next goal? For me, I'm 27. I'm older than most of the players that are competing right now. I just feel like I still have a lot of gas up in the tank. I think my biggest goal is just to win as much as I possibly can until I can't anymore.
The Kalahari's got its own draw. It's vast and it's forever. You've just got to get into those sand dunes on your own, and there you're going to find a lot of solitude. It can seem like a place of massive emptiness, but you suddenly find 5, 6 different animal tracks right there. There's this huge amount of life, and when I'm on a filming project, I really like to try and live like the animals do so that I can experience the hardships that they're going through. I want to see wildlife in a totally different context, and that's really, I suppose, what draws me to the Kalahari. It's the vastness and the openness. I really enjoy being able to see these massive distances. Those are great images and things that stick with you.
November 28th, 1520. Ferdinand Magellan reaches the Pacific Ocean after passing through the South American strait that now bears his name. The Portuguese navigator crosses the Pacific and is killed in the Philippines in the following year. But Magellan's crew continues and ultimately completes the first circumnavigation of the globe. 1990.
It is because we on this side have never flinched from difficult decisions.
In London, Margaret Thatcher, Britain's first woman prime minister, resigns after more than a decade in power. John Major succeeds Thatcher as prime minister and Conservative Party leader. 1994. In Wisconsin, serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer is beaten to death in prison by a fellow inmate while serving a series of life sentences. Dahmer had admitted to murdering 17 young men and boys, some of whom he mutilated and cannibalized. 1925.
At the Grand Ole Opry every Saturday night.
The Grand Ole Opry, Nashville's famed home of country music, makes its radio debut on station WSM. And 1962,
the closest election that we have seen in this country in about 4 years, quite frankly.
Comedian Jon Stewart, host of the news parody The Daily Show, is born in Trenton, New Jersey. Today in history, November 28th. Camille Bohannon, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,